Hi, Eoin. Well battered. Has Tom and Dawid have obviously performed really well in these first two T20s. Does that just highlight the top order options available to you? You must be really pleased with that.
Yeah, delighted. I've said it before. I think we're just in a period of our game where there are a lot of really good top order batters available to us. And I don't know why that is. I know a lot of guys who tend to score the majority of the runs for their county bat at the top of the order in the top 3 or 4. So that might be the case. But it's great to see those two coming in and score runs. Obviously, Tom more so the other day, the way he played is the way that we see him in a Somerset shirt, which is awesome. And David's just continued to score runs at a rate. So his start to his international career is unlike many others.
So I meant to ask you this the other day, actually. Now that the T20 World Cup is in India, Australia, does that affect your thinking going ahead?
Yeah, I think it does. I think certainly one area of our game where we're lucky is having Ben and Moeen in and around our strongest 11. So your all-rounder is a seamer and a spinner. If only one of those to play in a side in India, majority of the time, I think it will have to be potentially a seamer. I'm not sure you can get away against certain teams with a spinner, and likewise other teams you need a seaming all round.
Thanks. Cheers, Danny.
Okay, Lawrence, please.
Hi, Eoin. Do you feel in terms of your own batting that you're hitting the ball as sweetly as you ever have done?
Yeah, definitely. And the numbers definitely back that up. Even before this series started, certainly within T20 cricket, the last 2 years of international cricket and some domestic are my best numbers to date, which is great because if I can combine that, well, a little bit of that, not always going to perform like I have done, but a little bit of that with experience, I think that'll go a long way. Certainly when I'm moving up and down the order, say between 4 and 6 to try and win a game. So yeah, it's nice that I'm feeling good, but it's actually replicated in the numbers as well.
Put that down to anything in particular? Is it your experience, just getting wiser with age?
Yeah, I think a little bit of both. I think experience and confidence, and actually the roles that I play I'm more comfortable with. I think before I became captain, jumping up and down the order, I didn't feel that comfortable with. But now that it's my decision, I feel more at ease. Say if I was slipping down to 6 and Butler ahead of me, I'd feel more comfortable with that than I probably would beforehand.
Thank you.
George, please.
Okay, well played. Given how many options you have at the top of the order, does it make you think that Joss might be ideal in that sort of floating finishing role where it would appear there are slightly fewer options?
Yeah, there are definitely fewer options. But I think when you're trying to fine-tune selection of the final 11, which is very hard to do a year out from the World Cup, the teams that you pit them against are the best in the world. Like, do they perform in that way against the best in the world, or do they perform just against certain number of teams? But the 3 guys that we have at the top of the order in our strongest 11, and that includes Joss, do it against everybody, which is obviously one of our strengths. Whereas if you were to bring one of the younger guys in, who's less experienced and less runs under his belt, it might be a bigger challenge. But moving forward, I'm hoping if it doesn't work out at the top, we have options. I think that's the best position we've been in for some time with our T20 cricket, just simply because the majority of the guys have been rested the last 4 years throughout the series.
And obviously, you were without your 2 quickest bowlers today. They still probably have a decent role to play, wouldn't they? Even if it is in India instead of Australia.
Sorry, George. What bowlers did you say? Sorry.
2 quickest bowlers, as in Wood and Archer.
Yeah.
They would still have a role to play, wouldn't they, in India?
Absolutely. I think it emphasises more so on the really flat, slow wickets. You know, if you have that extra bit of pace, you still can skid through somebody and maybe bowl a wide Yorker, or hit the stumps and get a wicket. But when you're a little bit slower, that pace isn't there. So almost it's difficult to skip through somebody basically unless the ball is reverse swing.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
John, please.
Yeah, I mean, you're announcing the squad tomorrow for the Australia games. Would we expect to see some of the Test guys back for those games?
Yeah, there's a chance some guys will be back. Yeah, for that, which is great. I mean, guys do enjoy playing in our white ball setup. So the fact that some of them want to come back and play, I think is great, particularly after being in the bubble or the biosecure environment for so long.
Has Joe got a chance? Joe Root got a chance? Or I'm not asking you to sort of preempt the squad.
This evening.
Yeah, you haven't, but he got some runs today. He's back playing T20, isn't he, for Yorkshire? So
Yeah.
Keen to be involved. Okay, thanks. Cheers.
Thanks. Okay, Tim Wigmore, and we'll finish with George. Last one. Go ahead, Tim.
Hi, Owen. The innings from Dawid, probably not the most familiar position for him coming in after the power play with spin on. So how impressed were you with that? And although he's done very well opening, realistically, for him to be in your sort of squad going forward, does he have to be able to adapt to batting at 3 or 4?
I think realistically in a squad, for your spare batters, you need a top 3 position covered, and then your other batter is an all-rounder, and that might be a spinning all-rounder, a seaming all-rounder. So that obviously presents a challenge itself. But the options we have, obviously, with Joss at the top of the order at the moment, is to alternate and play around if need be, if that formula doesn't work, which brings top order guys back into the frame.
George, last one.
Yeah, just a more geeky one. Is there anything that you've been doing personally on your batting, technically, that's helped you enjoy this run of particularly good form?
Nothing out of the ordinary that I haven't been doing already, George. No, it's very boring. Yeah, sorry.
Right, is it confidence in part?
Yeah, I think just being, like I mentioned earlier, being comfortable in the role that I'm in, also accepting the different parts of our journey that we are on at the moment, with one team and the other trying to grow and learn and build strength and depth. Just taking that on as anybody would, as opposed to, maybe being fussy about selection or down about not putting out a best 11 all the time.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.